All right, let me get my ducks in a row here and welcome everybody to the Writer's Circle, Bravehealer Writer's Circle free event. We love to do free events now and again just to give you guys a taste of what we're up to every month in the Writer's Circle. The Writer's Circle is our writing membership community. We meet 2 Monday nights and 2 Sunday mornings every single month. And we love to write, and really that's the motivation behind being here. Dr. Erica Putnam is here with us today, and she is the director of the Writers Circle. And what I wanted to start with today, aside from just being super grateful that you're all here to play in the writing sandbox with us today, is just talking about like why we do this, like why do we write together? There's so many different reasons, and they can be different for everybody. I know they are different for everybody, but for me, knowing that I get to show up here with you all, and knowing now that you're all over the world, if you just sit for a minute and think about that globe and all of those little flags on the globe of where we're all sitting, I don't know, that gives me goosebumps every time I think about it. I love writing together and I love being in community with people in general, but when you marry being in community with the writing, then, you know, Laura gets pretty turned on. So thank you for being here and wanting to join in that energy today. The other reason, of course, I love this is I'm inspired in a different way every single time I get together with everybody. And we do writing prompts and different skills with writing. We're here in my world, in the Bravehealer Productions world, because I believe that writing is a healing process. And so I tend to talk a lot about that bigger connection. And we're also here because we want to be better writers. We want people to read our stuff and be like, ooh, they can't put it down, right? And they buy our books and they read our blogs. And a lot of the members have businesses that they are growing, and writing is such a huge part of that. So we're here to get better. And those are some of the reasons. I want to kind of turn it over to Erica now and have her add some of her reasons. And introduce yourself, my dear.
Hello, I'm Dr. Erica Putnam. I'm a holistic chiropractor in Whitefish, Montana. Laura and I kind of collaborated on this group about a year ago because I've been in a writing group for quite a while, in a different writing group, and I loved it so much. The creativity that comes out, the spontaneity that comes out. And there's a way I found that I really was able to just let go in the writing. So rather than have a particular audience in mind or a particular hope in mind, I just played. And so it was really, but I also noticed it stimulated more writing for me. So I really like to just come and remove the blocks and let it flow and know that it's really imperfect, and that imperfection is just honing a skill and giving me a lot of permission. So for me, it's really about letting the creativity flow and not censoring in the bigger picture. So that's why I like to write in this group. And I also really enjoy being with writers. To be on the same page for an hour or so is really wonderful. So thanks for coming, and I'm looking forward to hearing how the rest of you are interested in the circle and what you hope.
The same page, no pun intended. I love that. Thanks for that one. That gave me a little chuckle. And that makes me realize I didn't really introduce myself. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Bravehealer Productions and the founder of Brave Kids Books. And we publish for holistic health and wellness practitioners. That's what I'm doing during my day when I'm not writing all kinds of other stuff. So people who are with us today, I would love to know a little something about you and your writing. So would everybody take a minute to type into the chat one of these things? Are you working on some writing? What are you working on? We would love to know your current project. Or maybe you have a goal for your writing. What is that? You could also share one of your goals. Or what's one thing that you're hoping to learn in this writing game? Okay, so you can share in the chat what you're working on, what's a current project. or a goal you have for your writing, or one thing you really want to learn in terms of writing. So I'm going to give you all a minute to type those answers in, and we'll hear from you, because that's really why we're here, is we want to do this in community with you all and help everybody get to where they're going with writing. And so one of my goals is always to become a better writer. And I always have to remind myself that that means something different to everybody. So for me, it's just being able to help somebody with my words to possibly change a life, because I was able to share a story that gave someone a perspective, right? And if I can do that in a way that resonates with them, that wakes them up to what's possible, right? That's the company mission. We are waking the world up to what's possible, one brave word at a time. If I can do that, that's awesome. If I can do it in a way that makes them laugh, that makes them cry, that entertains them, that educates, then yay for me, right? If I can write in a way that they can't put it down, that they put their phone away, yay for me, right? So thanks you all. Thanks to all of you who are typing in. So Lisa's like, keeping it alive and fun. Yes. Sandra says, tomorrow's the start of my blog cast, having a theme for the month. Yay. Starting with doing things I don't know how to do. I love it. And her broader plan is writing a book about water. Awesome, Sandra. Carol is working on deeper expression through poetry. Ooh, you're going to love this morning, Carol. She wants to be able to use prompts more easily. That's the kind of a theme for today, everyone. I'm excited about today and the prompts we have for you. So stay tuned. Stacy's goal is to unblock and relaunch writing on Medium. Yes, medium.com, one of my favorite blogging sites ever, y'all. Like, you could have a free membership up in 5 minutes and be blogging for the world over there. It's actually one of the places that I started blogging more from a class that I took once upon a time from Smart Blogger. So brilliant place to blog, easy. And Natalie says, I have a deep-seated desire to bring the stories and thoughts in my mind to life, and I'm here to explore and empower that calling. Yes, 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 and yes. Current project of Charlene's, started up a new energy healing business. Yay, Charlene. Wisdom Unleashed, Paths to Self-Discovery. End of March. Tell me about that end of March, Charlene. And writing copy for social media, newsletters, blogs, learning how to get into the flow. Yes. Some of my favorite topics there, honestly. You want to talk blogging? I'll talk your ear off. Newsletters too, like, love that. And then Lindsay, I'd like to help trauma survivors find healing through inspiration and solidarity. Yes, Lindsay, part of the reason I am here as well. So thanks to you all for writing those things in. I think you all can hear all of the reasons we're here. And I know that one of the foundational reasons is because we want to help people, you know. So this happens to be the last day of Poetry Month. And if you guys know me, you know that I am a poetry geek. I am a poet. I'm a spoken word poet. And I use poetry in my writing a lot, and also in my speaking. So since today is the last day of Poetry Month, and I happen to be blessed enough to be with you all today, I'd like to start by sharing a poem. And actually, you all are doing me a favor and allowing me to practice this, because I'll be performing it in a couple of weeks in Salt Lake City at a book event. And so I'll invite you all to relax and take a breath while I get this ready for you. This is called What You Survived. Do you sometimes wonder if what you survived is a test? Like, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, kind of effed up lesson test just to see what you're made of? And you do survive it, looking back with a combo. Oops, that's supposed to come later. And you do survive it, looking back with a combo, side eye roll. I'm not sure if that was a cosmic joke or I should be stoked kind of look. And you move on, move forward, take the next steps, think positively in the right, best direction, resting in the closure, proud of the soul you've become as a result, only to wake another day to a slap in the face, standing there stunned, looking up like, what the? I thought I'd already been tested enough. Thought I'd been there, done that. Thought you'd wrung out every last drop of my capacity to cope on that last round. And your mind catches fire again when you realize it's never the final round until you're dead. But for a moment, you stop and think about the score and smile. You're standing in the ring. You're telling the story. The opponent may look a little bigger this time, but the reality is you've won every round. Every single round. You live to tell the tale, to help someone else, to take the experience and teach and speak and love and be exactly who you are as the result of your ability to stand back up after being knocked to the ground and ground yourself in the deep exhale of purpose. Yes, you did that. Congratulations, you survived, and you will again. And if you're wondering, you're not alone. Everyone's in that ring. Even if you can't see it, everyone is struggling to stand back up again. And there's no rule we can't offer a hand. Let's go, warrior. You got this next round. No matter what's thrown your way, training is never easy, but it's what gives you the power to do this life with grace and ease and a touch of badassery. I'm going to try that part again. Oh, here we go. And in this quarter, ladies and gentlemen, we have reigning world champion of the realities of life. Never give up until you die. Throw a bucket on the fire of your mind and choose a better fight, Survivor. Now fill in your name. And that was the end of that poem, which obviously I need to practice because touching the bell on my phone to try to get it timed in the right place wasn't easy. So maybe I'll leave that part out. Thank you all for listening. And does anybody know Marwa El Sheikh? Marwa. Just unmute or type in the chat if anybody knows who that is. Okay. So thanks for waiting there. Y'all, I've celebrated this month with Poetry Month in recording and posting a spoken word poem every single day of the month on the YouTube channel that I have just for poetry. So I went ahead and put it in the chat for you guys. If you have a moment, you want to listen later, you can click and subscribe and go listen to a bunch more that I have recorded there. But for today, it's your turn. And whether you consider yourself a poet or not, I want you to have fun with this exercise, okay? Because there was probably a day in your life back a while back where you didn't consider yourself a writer, and now maybe you do, right? So today's first prompt and theme is joy. And here's what I need you all to do for me. So, when you all think of the word joy, what other word, one word, comes to mind? Pamela Ann, will you type your word into the chat for me? And I'm going to wait for Pamela Ann. She's going to write a word that reminds her of joy. And the word that Pamela chose is colors. Carol Park, type one word that comes to mind when you hear colors. I'll wait for Carol to type her word. Purple. Awesome. Charlene, when you hear the word purple, what word comes to your mind? Type it in the chat for me. Bliss. Ooh, I like it. Erica, when you hear the word bliss, what one word comes to your mind? Type it in the chat. Breathe. Nice one. Lindsay, when you hear the word breathe, what one word comes to your mind? Can you type it in the chat? Life force. Lisa, when you hear life force, what one word comes to your mind? Type it in the chat. Vitality. And hang on. Natalie, when you hear vitality, what one word comes to your mind? Type it in the chat. Energy. Sandra, when you hear energy, what one word comes to your mind? Spiral. And Stacy, when you hear spiral, what comes to your mind? Dancing. Did I miss anyone? I'm going to be the last one and write disco. Now, you have 5 minutes to write a poem that includes at least 5 of these words. Don't get in your own way with this. Just have fun. The theme is joy. Use at least 5 of the words. We've got colors, purple, and they're all in the chat, so you can scroll them. Colors, purple, bliss, breathe, life force, vitality, energy, spiral, and dancing, and disco. Gotta love that. Okay, 5 minutes. Have fun with this, y'all. And if you guys happen to be watching this replay today, you can pause the video or fast forward for a few minutes. All right, you guys got about 30 more seconds to kind of finish up your last line or two. All right, so who would like to share their beautiful poem about joy? First two hands. Come on, brave souls. Sandra, I see you. Anyone else? All right, Natalie, thank you. Sandra, go for it. Can't wait.
Joy. Leap and play. Breathe vitality and life force through my body. Energy spiraling from the earth into my feet, through my body and out the top of my head. Spouting out the top of my head with a blisitude of purple sparkles. I dance to an inner disco beat. Breathing. Sunlight spreads into rainbow colors shining down, spiraling and shining. Breathe. Pure joy. Aliveness. Life. Gratitude. Breathe.
Nice, thank you. I love the poetry that moves through when you all just connect and let it flow. It's beautiful. Natalie, you ready?
Disco beat, purple heat, the room moves and grooves with your energy. Life force takes the floor. The people gasp and move to grasp to feel your vitality. Your spiral beauty, loving, soulful bliss sets the space free. Free, free, free to be. Breathe me, joy.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, you're getting snaps. That's the open mic world, y'all. If you see us snapping at you, that's a compliment. So when you all share, you're putting the vibration of your voice to the words. It's a healing process. For me, the phases of healing when I think about writing start with journaling. Me as the witness, I get to put the words out of my head onto the paper, and it's an awareness tool. For me, that's phase-ish 1. Then I read them out loud and I hear them, and that's next level. There's another level of healing there, an aha moment maybe, right? When I write and then choose to share with other people, that's a whole nother level of brave, because then you open up your heart to possible feedback or criticism, really, right? Then I might speak them out loud to other people. That could be in a room today like this. And that's a whole nother phase of that healing process for me. Stepping into my confidence and worthiness and just, you know what? That was something that just moved through me. I didn't edit it. Here you go. You're going to just get to hear a piece of my soul right now, right? Why not? And that is brave, y'all. And then kind of 2 more phases for me have been standing on a stage. And actually, that's the last phase-ish, but maybe y'all have something beyond that. Standing on a stage and speaking those words into a microphone, hearing your voice reverberate, and then watching reaction. Holy moly. So all the way from journaling to that place on the stage, right? And you might be in any pieces of this. I should also add publishing. Like, I could share something on social, but that doesn't mean it's published in a book out there for the world, right? So these are all phases of brave for me. So I say that all to say, Sandra and Natalie, you're all amazing for being the first 2 volunteers today, right? So thank you. Thank you for being brave. So I'm going to turn it over to Erica now, and she has our next writing prompt for us.
Well, thanks, Laura. One of the things I really like to do with the writing prompts is sometimes pull from the last amount of writing. And when I was just listening to Laura talk about the growth process of the writing. So the idea of write to heal, it wasn't only listening to the growth process, but it was also about self-connection and self-acceptance. And so it's fun to watch the journey, but it's also fun to be in the journey and just allow it to happen, which is what I felt like just happened with that joy poem. So I was thinking back to Laura's first poem that she read, and one of the lines that I wrote down that I really liked about that I think is a fun writing prompt, because I'm always thinking almost in writing prompts, is tell the tale. Tell, the T-A-L-E, the tale. Tell the tale. So that's what I want a writing prompt to be. So you'll do a 5-minute writing, and the prompt is tell the tale. I'll write it down. Tell the tale. There we go. Laura, do you want to keep time? You want me to?
I'll let you do it for this one. Tell
Okay.
the tale, right? Tell the tale. Okay.
Tell the tale. Yes. That's your writing prompt for 5 minutes. Ready? Go. All right, it's time. I'm curious to see what you've come up with. Who would like to read?
I will read mine.
All right, that'd be great. Thanks.
I'm in poetry mode, you guys, so here goes. Tell the tale, shake your tail feathers, find a feather and know it's a sign. Sign I love you to your lover in a place you can't speak. Place your heart on the altar, alter the way you look at the world. Find your way through the fear, pick up the words you threw on the floor and floor the world with your courage. Tell another tale that helps you heal.
Nice, thanks. Someone else? No, I'll read mine.
And Pamela had her hand up too, Erica.
Oh, let's go first, Pamela. You go first.
Go ahead, Erica. I'll go after you. Okay. The Telltale.
Okay, I'll lead the way.
Oh, hey, you guys are talking over each other. Erica, you froze there while Pamela started hers.
Oh, okay. I'll let her go.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
It's okay. I wasn't too sure if you could hear me. The telltale tell end of your everyday, of your every smile, the outer world of your inner world, telling the story of your heart, your soul, the light in your eyes, the sparkle in the tears, the notes in your voice, the height of your reach, as you delve and dive, weaving in and out, thread by thread, in and out, space by space, the silence secluded, included.
Nice, thank you. Anyone else want to go before I share? All right, I'll read mine. In the beginning, she swirled in her purple dress, blissed and joyful, until she fell. Her mother tried to comfort her. Anne, my darling girl, this body of yours will heal. It knows how. Anne felt terrible, in pain, afraid. What if it didn't, couldn't? And she began to worry and doubt. The pain worsened. The life force began to drain from her bones. She grew pale and weak. Her mother tried again. Anne, trust. You must believe the body can do this. You must think happy thoughts, find joy. And her mother took her to the porch and sat her in a beautiful chair with a blanket to watch the birds at the feeder. Anne became happier with each yellow and blue bird that visited her. She wanted to feed them and began to get up to refill the feeder. She got better each day.
Nice.
I just want to say I purposely tried not to give too much speaking into that prompt because I like the idea, just in terms of writer circle, I like the idea of trusting your writing, like allowing it to flow through you. And sometimes it flows through in a way that kind of makes sense, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's a little bit of pushing past that when it doesn't and allowing it when it does. So that's why I didn't speak into that much. So Laura, I know you have another prompt for us.
Oh, for sure. Lindsay, did you want to share also?
Yeah, I'll share.
Okay.
Oh, great.
The girl with the sad eyes one day couldn't cry anymore. Her eyes grew dry and her heart cold. She felt deeply inward where the war waged upon her was by her own hands. Her thoughts, her words, trapped internal, the ammunition. What once was a sneak attack, now powerful enough to obliterate the entire army she's enlisted to keep herself safe. Her white flag stained with the agonies of her own blood.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'll give you some snaps. So, when you write from this connected place where words move through your body, not from that overthinking place, that's the solution to writer's block all the time. Writer's block to me is just that you left that embodied space and you're overthinking it. And when you're overthinking it, you are out of your body. Sometimes you're not even breathing. You're, barely breathing. And you're just thinking too much, and you lost connection with that divine flow, that place where those words will just move through. Sometimes so fast, it's hard to catch them, which is kind of a good problem to have, right? You can edit later, right? So just open up to the flow, let them move through. You can refine and do all the little tweaks later on. But what I want you to do now, and you can do this eyes closed or eyes open, it doesn't matter. I've gotten to the place where I don't have to close my eyes and get into a full-on formal meditative state to make this happen. What if you just sunk into your chair, dropped into your pelvic bowl, breathe into your rib cage and let your ribs expand in all directions, and you just arrive here with one single amazing pelvic bowl breath? What if that's all it took? Oh yeah, I forgot. Here I am. And you come into your body, and then you go, then you connect, then you can put your pen to the paper. And so that connected space for me is like, feels like a miracle so much lately, and more. It's like once you go there, you can't really disconnect. It's only just about remembering, right? Lisa, pick 1, 2, or 3 for me. Just pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. 2. Okay. Your next prompt we're going to write for 3 minutes is 2 pens. That's it. Just breathe, connect, and write. 2 pens. We're going to write for 3 minutes. A few more seconds to wrap up that last thought or sentence. All right, anyone burning to share this one? Stacy, go for it.
She tried writing with the first pen, and the ink would not flow. So she switched to the second pen and wrote from her head to her toe. All the topics that she couldn't feel, now they were on her paper, and she was ready to share with whomever needed to hear.
I love it. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Charlene, go for it.
I'm in a bit of a poem writing mode, even though I'm not really experienced much in writing poems. So here I go. 2 pens, one is red, the other is white. The red one has a pearl, the white one too. It's Marilyn Monroe from Vienna. Feels so sleek, writes so smooth, a beauty to behold. Cherished, embraced, precious.
Nice. And I win because my whole goal was to pull poems out of you today because it's the last day of Poetry Month. I love it. And I love that you recognize the poetic nature of the words moving through because you don't have to call it a poem. I don't care what you call it because it's a feeling to me, you know? And I love it, love it. So just out of curiosity, in the 2 pens, who had a red pen of the 2? I'm just curious. What was one of you, or what was one of your pens red?
Yes, and
Yeah.
there is a pen made by Mont Blanc called Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, got
And
it.
there's a red version and a white version, and they both have a pearl on it. And I bought the red one in Vienna.
Oh my God. I think we all need a Marilyn Monroe pen. Come on.
Hey,
Let's go. I wanted to read my one from the joy poem to you guys. So here's my joy poem from our first prompt. Joy beams through me today, light and free, purple around the edges, and beckons me to go dancing. The disco lights fire up in my mind, and I breathe deeper down into a spiral of bliss. The everyday, something coursing through to my fingertips. I wish I could read that word. The colors of my soul begin to rise, life force, the real kind of vitality, the soul food kind. And I plan more dancing for tomorrow. Like anything to me becomes a poem when it's just you expressing the things that light you up to that next level, that get you a little excited, that the words that move through and you're like, I really do want to share those. Like you have this urge, this enthusiasm, like because they came from that place, you actually want to share them and you don't mind so much that they aren't edited yet. You know, you just want to share with this family of people that showed up today because it's the feeling that's moving through you of where those words came from. Well, how cool is that? Like, I mean, wouldn't you want all your moments of writing to feel like that, right? I think sometimes we get into this place where we're like, oh my gosh, the proofing, the editing, does this sound right? Are they going to read it right? Is this correct? Is it the right way to do it? And that's, there goes the writer's block instantly. I'm done, right? So I go back to the feeling place inside of me and I breathe and I connect to my body so that the writing can move out uncensored. Later, there's editors for the other crap. I'll get help with that other stuff. But I want you to feel the feeling. And when you feel the feeling, you know, that's it, man. That's awesome. Okay, Erica, do you have one more for us today? We'll do like a 3-minuter.
I do.
Cool.
And I wanted to say something real quick because one of the things that Pamela wrote in the chat, thank you, Pamela, that I wanted to address was about journaling versus writing for an audience. And like Laura just spoke to that feeling is where it comes from. And maybe you write it for yourself and maybe it's shared, but I do think it's a fun place to go back and forth in terms of how are we doing this or why are we doing this? So it's just something to keep in mind. And I feel like one of the things that we work on as far as being a better writer is telling versus showing. And to me, telling is something that happens more in a journal. Showing is something more that we're doing with an audience. So it's one of the places of just practicing a skill set. So I just wanted to address that because I think it's a really important piece So thank you for bringing that up, Pamela. So I do have a prompt, and we'll do 3 minutes. I'll keep time. The prompt is more or less. More or less. All right, that's 3 minutes. Anyone want to share? It looks like Sandra had to leave us, so. Lisa? Anyone else? All right, Lisa, go ahead.
There was a smidge left, more or less, of milk at the bottom of the glass bottle. There is a smidge left, more or less, of mascara left on her lashes after she cried until she could cry no more. There was a smidge left, just crumbs really, but more or less there was no cereal in the box anymore. There is a smidge left, more or less, of his dignity as the cop installed the cuffs and he was lowered into the parole car. There was a smidge left, more or less, of the love she had left. And then we ran out of time.
You need to finish that one. That was awesome. I loved how
That's
you
wonderful.
used more or less, like the whole thing. One more, you guys.
This is what's fun. So if we can get one more, that'd be great.
Yeah, this is definitely what's fun, is listening to the different different versions. Anyone else? No go? Anyone? Stacy, go for it, Stacy.
Yay.
Time to prep for dinner. I gathered the ingredients and poured the first into the measuring cup. As I looked, I could not tell. Was it enough? Maybe I needed a bit more. Maybe some needed to be poured back to have a little less. And on I went, measuring the next parts, deciding each time, was it enough, too much, or did I need more until I was done?
Nice. Thank you, Stacy. Anything else you want to say about that one, Erica?
More or less. No, just kidding.
You know, something interesting happened to me on this one. I've been, I love listening to Esther Hicks, and she had this little talk that was, she repeated it. You know how she repeats things, right? So she repeated this phrase about 5-10 times. Everything is attraction. Everything is attraction. Everything is attraction. But like the 5th time I was getting it. But as I started more or less, I instinctually started, I said, more, please, more, right? And I made a list. My journaling was a list: more love, more joy, more generosity, all the happy words. About halfway through, my mind went, oh, well, you're supposed to also list the bad stuff, less hate, less whatever, right? I stopped myself on the first line, remembered Esther, everything is attraction. And I continued my positive list all the way down to the end with more writing, please. And I just loved that prompt gave me a moment to align with my purpose. And I just loved that about that. So anyway, I just thought I would share the process more than what I wrote with you guys. We have this writer's circle.
Laura.
Yeah. What's that, Erica?
Oh, I was just going to say that's really funny, because my writing was probably the same, like the exact same process went through my head. And so I'm going to post it in the writer's circle,
Oh,
because
good.
it's a poem. So I'm going to
Yay,
say I'm posting
Erica
it for
wrote
you.
a
But I
poem.
also want to say that is something that I think that we welcome and encourage, right? That know that a lot of this writing is just something that gets you started on something else. So I think it's a great place to share what we do.
That is for sure.
So
Yes.
Back to you.
Yeah, please. And that's a great reminder. Come into the group, play. It's a free group. You can be in there whether or not you're a member of the Writer's Circle, but the link I dropped for you, and if you're watching the replay, you can find it below, is for our membership circle. We meet 4 times a month, every single month. And it's $45 for a quarter, for 3 months worth of sessions. So please come taste it, have fun with us, whether you continue in the circle or just try it for a quarter. We think that you're going to really enjoy the community and the inspiration and all the other amazing things. So today was an attempt to get us together again and let a few more people in just to see what we've been up to. I really just want to end with my gratitude. You know, this mission of mine to share brave words that are changing the world. It's not small potatoes to me. It's a huge mission. And it's really because of you all who have been coming into our community and our world to grab my hand and to say, yeah, I'll do that with you. Right? That's why this matters so much to me. Erica, thank you so much for really wanting to do this and wanting to do it with me, and for being the incredible person and writer that you are, and inspiring us to think about our writing differently. I love all the prompts that you bring to the table every time I get to listen to them. So I hope you all enjoyed today. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I am going to hang out for a few minutes if any of you have questions or you just want to chat some more about what we did today, but wanted to wrap it up for our recording. So anything you want to say, Erica, before I hit pause on that recording? Okay. So thanks if you're watching the replay.